I'm joined here tonight by all of our directors. Our purpose this evening is to provide very quick updates from all of our directors to you, and then stand by for any questions that you may have. I would ask, as we did in the email, that if you have a specific question about your cadet, let's take that offline because we don't want to divulge personal information over the internet here. So we will get started straight away with Janet, our Chief Financial Officer.
Hi, my name is Janet Pullen. I'm the CFO here at the Academy. I've been here for about 20 years now and have really enjoyed my time here. I'm responsible for financial services and our food service contract. And we just recently initiated our FACTS tuition program. It's been a little challenging in the very beginning, but I think we have everybody on board and it seems to be working very well. And I'm available to answer any questions that you may have regarding our department. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I'm Faith Cohen, Director of Advancement here at Army Navy Academy. Thank you all for joining us. A couple of my roles and responsibilities here. First and foremost is community building. So working on the events at the Academy that bring our community together, including our upcoming Warrior Family Weekend and Distinguished Warrior Awards dinner and auction, which will be on March 25th. I also oversee all of the fundraising, and my office liaises with the Alumni Association as well as ANAPA, our patron.
Well, good evening. My name is Tracy Overton, and I'm the Director of Human Resources here at the Academy. Been here about 8 years now. And I am also very pleased to be here and part of this community engagement. And if anyone does want to reach out with specific questions for my department, my contact information is on our website. Let's go with Clint.
Hi, my name is Clint Jesperson. I'm Director of Construction and Facilities. My roles entail just that, oversight of the construction projects on campus and oversight of the facilities team. A couple of things I wanted to talk about today, and you can certainly ask more questions about, were the construction projects that we have underway. We just finished the Atkinson dorm remodel. Cadets moved in over after winter break, and we are underway on Crean Hall right now. So demolition started. We're starting with rough plumbing and electrical, and all the finishes and equipment is on order with the hopes of finishing in the next month or so. And then we are also underway on the remodel of Miller Hall. Miller Hall will become the new home of Warrior Aviation, and also a new program that the team talked about, which is the Makerspace, which will have new technologies like laser cutting and 3D printing. Both underway, hopefully get done sooner, and we'll have more on other projects in the next few meetings.
Good evening. My name is Nehemiah Brunson, Director of Warrior Athletics. I just want to introduce myself, let you guys know what's going on within Warrior Athletics. We're winding down with our winter sports. We have wrestling prepping for CIF next week. We have soccer competing this evening at Maranatha, which I was just told they tied. Our Warrior soccer team is tied for first place. And our basketball team is gearing up for a league tournament starting hopefully next week. As we finish up with that, we'll be heading into a long spring of athletics, which is going to be exciting for us. We're also working on something special for this summer with our Warrior Performance Camp, which I would love to answer questions about that. Something we're doing within our Academy by the Sea. What is that? July 10th through 22nd, and more will speak on that. But outside of that, I'm here to answer any questions you guys have within Warrior Athletics.
Good evening. Kirby Scarborough, newest member of the team here, known as the Senior Army Instructor here at Army Navy. My newest title is Director of Leader Development and Character Improvement. Spring semester is in full swing within the JRTC program. This coming Saturday, we will conduct our first Raider competition in quite some time. We plan on hosting about 8 schools this Saturday. Mainly 5 events being conducted right here on the beachfront and on the east and west side of campus here. We will open it up at about 9 o'clock, and then at 1 o'clock we'll conduct the clothing ceremony. So I'm really excited about bringing Raider competition back here to the ANA community. Also, I'd like to add that next Friday, 10 February, we'll be promoting about 30 upper class cadets. These are our mid-level cadets who have earned that opportunity based upon their performance during the fall semester. As well, we're continuing our second year of Warrior Leader Academy, which was briefed last year to many of the alumni during our JPA. Next week, we start with our freshmen, certifying our freshmen as squad leaders, 7th through 8th February. And then we move on to the 10th grade, 14th, 15th February. We're looking at potentially taking them to UCSB for like a retreat and a team building exercise held by some of their senior cadets. And we're still trying to firm up our plans for 11th grade OCC to be conducted on 12th and 16th of April. More to follow on that. But again, glad to be here, proud to serve, one team.
Good evening, everyone. Colonel Wayne Ward, Commandant of Cadets, charge of cadet life. I have a few things to talk about. One of them is just a favor from all of you, and just to make you aware of one of the issues that we're dealing with, and that's phone hotspots. And the problem is cadets are accessing the internet sites when our Wi-Fi is turned off. And this is accomplished through the hotspot capability on the smartphones. And this interferes with their sleep. It allows them to access prohibited sites. And also, just using this is against the acceptable use of technology agreement that each cadet has signed. So we're asking that you assist us by not providing that option through your service provider, or just turn that option off, and that will help us in achieving what we're trying to do here. Back by popular demand, the Snack Shack will be open starting next Tuesday. It's going to be open from 8:45 to 9:45. It'll be cadet run and facilitated by Cadet Life. There'll be healthy food options like fruit, granola bars, milk, and other options to include mini pizza, pretzels, and other things. Another item is we're gearing up for Super Bowl Sunday. Our activities director he's planning with the Napa and Mess Hall, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be here in the Rec Hall, and they're going to start off in the morning with flag football competition, and the winners get VIP treatment, and it's always a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that. In regards to summer camp, Academy by the Sea, you heard the dates. That's July 10th through the 22nd. The different elements that are going to be offered are the marine drones and aquaculture, JROTC leadership, aviation discovery, computer science explore, band discovery, and warrior performance. And all of these, it's on our website, and if you want any more information about that, we're available after this. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Ethan Segovia. I'm the Dean of Academics here. This is my 16th year. We are a little bit past the halfway point into GP4, so time is really flying. A few of the topics I want to cover. I sent out some new course details to all of you in December. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth about those at the ANAPA meeting in March at our Warrior Family Weekend. Our faculty were recently trained in some social emotional learning by this great company called Can Do You. We're going to be implementing that with the boys during Warrior Virtue Time. Next Thursday, February 9th, Dr. Robbins, who is a sleep doctor from Harvard, will be visiting. She's going to meet with the faculty and staff. She'll speak to the cadets, and then you'll have a chance to hear from her and ask her questions in the afternoon next Thursday, which we'll be sending out more information for you on that. A few of the things we have going for this month, it's Black History Month, so we'll be doing some events on campus as well as some things in the mess hall. Next week, give a shout out to your cadets counselor. It's National Counseling Week, so we'll be doing some special things for our incredible counselors. Following that, we have Kindness Week, and that is a special week for the boys. The counseling department leads it, where they do a lot of creative and fun activities. I won't say too much because they like it to be a surprise, but it's a very, very enjoyable week for the boys. That's, again, February 13th to 17th. For Warrior Family Weekend, for you junior parents, I wanted to highlight from the counseling department that they will be doing their college presentation. Sophomore families are welcome to attend as well. They will not just cover colleges, but they will also do a focus on the academies as well. So please make sure that you attend that, which hopefully you're all going to be attending that fun weekend. As far as the makerspace question goes, it's a great question. The makerspace is going to be, the plan right now is for it to be open several times during the week after hours for cadets, and then also on the weekends. As of right now, we are not offering it as a club or elective. It's more going to be an extracurricular fun activity. We may offer it as an ASB club, depending, but we will definitely have it available several times during the week and on the weekend for all cadets. And I'll be speaking more about the makerspace in March. Thank you, everyone.
Chris.
All right, Chris Thaler here. I manage the admissions team. We are continuing to build our Corps of Cadets and recruit more fine young men to join the Corps. We could appreciate your help in doing that. Your referrals are very, very important to us. Just as a reminder, when you refer a cadet successfully and they become a cadet here at Army and Navy Academy, we have a pretty significant bookstore credit that goes to you as a way for us to say thank you for your help in continuing to build this Corps. We do have an open house this weekend on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's for potential incoming cadets and their families. So if you know somebody who would benefit from Army and Navy Academy, please send them our way and reach out. Thank you.
Okay, we are all at your disposal for questions.
Just so everybody knows how to do it, we do have a YouTube chat. It should be on the right-hand side of your screen. And you can type in your questions there and ask them to us. We have one from Brendan Lynch.
So when will we get the agenda for Warrior Family?
By the end of next week, and that's a great question. Thank you. We're gonna get it out just as soon as possible.
Will it be in the Weekly Warrior?
Yes, it will go in the Weekly Warrior.
So Lisa Meyer asks, can you please speak to how continuous enrollment will affect plebe training? Continuous enrollment, Lisa, is basically a thing that we do to make things easier on families who are looking to re-enroll for next year. As many of you parents have probably noted, we've been listing the re-enrollment in the Weekly Warrior each week. We've had quite a few families that have come back and signed their sons up for another year here at Army and Navy Academy. It shouldn't affect plebe training schedules. We'll be on the same calendar schedule as normal this next coming year, so early August is when people will be coming back.
She may be talking about, I think, Lisa, you may be talking about accepting new plebes throughout the grading period. Is that what you're talking about? And how that affects plebe training? That's probably. Well, anyways, when did you cover that? Yeah, how we do that with a rolling enrollment throughout the first grading period?
Right now, with the rolling enrollment, we have each plebe that comes will be assigned a cadet, and each company has a list of training objectives and training that they have to do. it takes a lot longer than the normal plea training when we can, that's all we do. So they do it in the afternoons and after classes in the evenings, and they work with them. So that's how we're doing it right now.
So a more individualized approach
Yeah.
by the group
Yeah.
training.
We are waiting for some more questions to roll in. I know that Lisa has some that have been forwarded by parents to her.
What is a makerspace?
So I actually described it in the weekly Warrior in December, but it's a great question, and it can be a lot of things. What we're going to be focusing on is boys using their hands to do a variety of things, from 3D printing to coding miniature robots, which some of them are already doing in computer science, to doing laser design on wood. They can make coasters and things like that. So that's kind of what ours is going to look like. We're going to start small and then kind of grow the program into eventually containing probably more robotic items. But it's boys using their hands and being curious, and you know, it's kind of part of the STEM initiative that we've been pushing. So that's kind of what ours is going to look like. I would also, if to learn more about it, just Google it and take a look at some of the images. It's really cool. Not just with the 3D printers, but the way the lasers work, because we're going to have people training the boys how to use them. So I think that's the best explanation I can give right now, but you kind of have to see it. So strongly recommend just looking up some images, and we'll have some more information and actually have some images for you here in the coming months.
I have a question over text. Janet, would you mind talking a little bit about facts and how that has kind of changed how we handle the tuition management and some of the things that parents can do through facts? Like the laundry cards, and not laundry cards, all the cards.
Okay, so the reason we changed to fax is we wanted parents to be able to see their student's statement online. And so what you can do is, when we initially set up your account, we bill you for the value of the tuition. So if you're boarding, it would be a boarding tuition. And then every time you make a payment, it will post to that statement every month. And so that allows you an opportunity to see exactly what's going on with your student's tuition account. In addition to that, one of the areas that we heard a lot of feedback from parents was regarding what their students are spending in the bookstore. So by going to fax, it allows us to download activity, the day's activity, onto your individualized student account. So you have an account with the bookstore, you preload an amount on their on a statement for the bookstore, and you're able to see every transaction that your student has done down in that bookstore. It will give totals, but we do have the opportunity to give you detail. We chose not to download detail because it's thousands of transactions. So if any time you see something posting to your student's bookstore account, you can call the bookstore and say, you know, why did Johnny spend X amount of dollars in the bookstore? We can give you detailed activity. And this gives you real time. Also, what fax does is, if there's any transaction, you'll get some type of notification every night to let you know there's been a transaction on your bookstore account. And if you have concerns, you can certainly call the bookstore. The third component that we added just recently is what we call invoicing. This is another concern that parents had, is they wanted to know what their students were doing in the canteen or other charges that were taking place throughout the campus. So if your student is interested in a field trip, you can go on to fax and you can purchase a field trip card. And you can buy it in denominations. I'm not sure what the off the top of my head, but anywhere from 25, 50, 150. And when that card is purchased, then he can sign up to go on a field trip on the weekends, I think a lot of times they go to the movies. And so what it'll do is they'll be charged against that card that you purchase. This allows parents to see what their kids are doing. They wanted to know, and you can see it and you can authorize it. In our old format, we had what we call preloaded accounts, and so parents weren't really seeing what their students were doing and how much activity. So we have these invoice pre-purchase cards for the canteen, for field trips, for transportation, if you need to have a pickup at the airport when you need to transport your student at semester break. All of these types of purchases we run through fax. And we only downloaded 3, but we're going to be adding them as we move along throughout the school year as parents become more comfortable with seeing these charges and purchasing these cards. I hope that. Thanks.
We have a question for Ethan. Could the dean expand on the upcoming college, it says question mark, but I think opportunities, potentially college tour for the juniors?
Yeah, I think I know what they're referring to. So first, what I was referring to was the counselors are going to hold a college counseling meeting for parents and guardians of junior cadets on the Saturday of our Warrior Family Weekend. What we're doing for the juniors and for all the underclassmen is the counselors go into the JROTC classes, starting in really middle school, but mostly starting in 9th grade, and start the kind of college focus then. So the boys will already be prepared. They do not necessarily have to attend the Saturday meeting. It's geared towards parents and guardians, but they can attend if the parent or guardian wants to bring them. And if you have any other questions about that, just reach out to your counselor and they can give you a lot of specific information.
The next question that we have is, I'm a proponent of my child getting rid of phone and computer at 10 p.m. / lights out. Is this prudent / practical?
I have that one.
Okay.
So it can be is the answer for that one. It depends. So we will work on with you and your cadet on an individual basis. A lot of guys are in AP classes. Some of them have extended hours. We will work with you and definitely help you with help him with the computer and the phone and your TAC. If you reach out to your TAC first on that one or me, we would be able to. Thank you.
We do a lot over in IT to make sure that browsing is safe and secure on this campus. We have a tool called GoGuardian, which helps us monitor what cadets are doing as long as they're doing it with their Army-Navy account or their Chromebook. And we also have a lot of security on the network as well to make sure that, again, cadets are browsing responsibly. And it gives us the opportunity to have some teachable moments when they overrun. But we also manage quite a bit of, if they are using a lot of bandwidth, if they are gaming a lot, those are all things that the kernels team gets feedback from us about. Mr. Adams asks, many of the senior students have real issues with the Wi-Fi, at least in the senior palace, and I know my son had problems previous to moving into that location. If we can fix that hotspot issue, at least legitimate use would be alleviated. Sometimes the hotspot is adapting and overcoming that is needed to get the assignments done. I can speak a little bit on that. We have continued to add more and more wireless access points on this campus. About a year and a half ago, we went through a major upgrade on the quality of the wireless access points that we use. Whenever we have a cadet report to IT, whether they're reporting directly or through their TAC officer or through the colonel or through academics, we go ahead and we take a wireless scanner into the location and evaluate that concern. We have added quite a few of them this year. So if there are still dead areas, if you can let your cadet know that they need to report those to us, we have been evaluating them very quickly, and we have been getting new Band-Aids in there to make sure that we have a good blanket across the school. Sherry Harrington asks, the cadets did a great job academically during GP3. What do you think contributed to their success? And she also says, thank you for the town hall.
Great question, Sherry. A combination of staying focused after GP2, which interestingly, the last few years, we haven't seen a large dip from GP1 to GP2. I don't know why. I've got the numbers actually right in front of me. All I know is our teachers are really passionate, and I think that's a big part of it. You know, we have all the supports that have been staying in place, but this particular year, the boys have stayed more consistent than in the last 9 years. Whatever our teachers are doing and whatever they're doing, I hope they keep it up. I haven't figured out what it is yet, but if I do, you'll be my first email to let you know. But thank you for that, and appreciate it.
This one's another one for you, Mr. Segovia. How do I reach out to the school registrar for questions about transcripts?
Yeah, Jason, I will email you after this, no problem, with that information.
Okay. Jennifer Spears asks, how does the school work with outside/online tutors for standardized tests like the ACT and SAT? Is that permitted?
Great question. Just contact your counselor. And yes, it is permitted. We have some families who hire their own tutors. We have 1 or 2 tutors as well. For SAT, ACT, we have a lot of boys doing Zooms with different companies. We actually brought a company last year. It didn't really fit with what we were looking for. So now I would just say contact your counselor and they will give you some links and help you out with that. But yes, it's very permitted and very supportable.
We did have a question about the Snack Shack, but it was retracted.
It is not, they don't have to use their card. That is part of the food program that the parents pay for, and Culinart, we're working closely with them, and they're providing us the snacks that we're going to be using. So that is at no extra cost.
Via our ASB.
Can you speak to the dorm remodel and when all cadets will get to enjoy living in the renovated dorms? What about Senior Palace, and where will those cadets live next year?
Good question, Lisa. So right now we're renovating Crean Hall. As I mentioned, we finished Atkinson Hall. The plan after Crean, depending on timing, will be to move to Anderson and then hopefully some of the what we call strip dorms. Senior Palace could be offline next year, but most likely not until the second half of the year. That's because we have another project in design. Where they will be living is still to be determined. I think that's something that the president and the colonel and I will be discussing on how we fit everyone in to where they need to go when we do construction projects.
Wait, I can take a bedtime one.
Yes.
Is it possible to have lights out at 10 p.m. and have cadets go to bed at 10 p.m.?
Yeah, great question. So I'm going to take this one because this comes from Dr. Robbins, the Harvard sleep doctor. Most of the boys are wired to not go to bed that early. And part of that reason is why we shifted our mornings to do an 8:30 start. She emphasized the fact that your nights are important, but they're not near as important as the mornings. And so we want them to have time to study, time to wind down, time to shower. We surveyed the boys about this as well, and we really took a hard look at our nights. The entire team pretty much is sitting here, and that's why we've stuck to our current schedule, and that's why we made the mornings a little bit more time-friendly for the boys to sleep in. That was all from guidance from Dr. Robbins.
Lisa asks, can you please remind me where we can purchase the cards for the rec hall and activities?
It's online, and the links it should take you straight to fax. The links on the Friday newsletter. If not, we'll make sure we get them back on there.
Just to piggyback on that, we have under My ANA, there is a family resources page, and it does have those links. It's also got a whole bunch of other stuff like the Aries portal, the daily bulletin, information on our social media, anything that parents might be curious about, and including key contacts across the academy. So that page should be the heartbeat of your online experience. Can you speak about the middle schoolers JROTC program?
Yep, I'll take that one. Thanks, Lisa, for the question. I just received 8 new middle schoolers to teach during my period 6, and I will tell you what a fantastic opportunity to enrich the young minds. As you know, our program gets progressive as they move up through grade level. So the focus at the middle school level is really understanding the content of the A&A community, our values, what's expected of them as cadets. We still give them a little bit of the GRTC curriculum as we integrate them into, expectations, the community, the brotherhood here at A&A. Hope that answers your question.
Mr. Sun asks, is it possible to provide laundry dryers at school so that the cadets wash their clothes themselves?
Have we ever looked at that?
That wouldn't be prudent with, there's a hygiene and there's from the legal aspect for them to do that and keeping it clean. We just transferred to a great laundry service that provides the Monday, Wednesday, Friday service, and they are talking with the cadets. They're really happy with what we have to offer here. That would be just like cadets cutting their own hair, almost. It's very, very tough.
Jennifer Spears says, I have to say my cadet seems really well rested, so good job with the scheduling. Ember Conley asks, I'm a planner. Is there an agenda for April Alumni Weekend?
Hi, Ember. Yes, we will also push that up just as soon as that's been finalized. Next 2 weeks or so.
That is the bottom of our current stack.
Can you tell me about the changes in summer camp?
Yes.
I can take it, and then you guys can fill in. We did change summer camp significantly this year from a leadership only focus with a couple of electives, and that was a 4-week session, 2 weeks followed by another 2 weeks, and then you could stay 4 weeks if you wanted both of them. But it was primarily focused around the junior ROTC program. This year, in order to highlight all of the strengths of our academy, because leadership is certainly one of them, but we have many strengths across the academy, we are offering 6 different tracks, with JROTC still being one of them, the leadership track. We will offer a brand new preview into our newest program that will come onto campus next year, and that's aquaculture, where we're going to introduce them primarily in the 2-week summer camp to the underwater drones. We're still going to offer our aviation track that's been highly successful in years past. We'll continue to do that. We are taking computer science as well. That's always been a successful elective, and that will be a track this year. Nehemiah will be leading a warrior performance, athletic performance track. And for our musically inclined students out there, we're going to offer a band track. And so what will happen is each of those tracks, the students will be in those tracks all day long from about 8 in the morning until around 3:30 in the afternoon. And then all of those tracks will come together for fun activities in the evening as one bigger, larger group. And, of course, that's where they'll have little field trips to different places in their tracks, and they'll also have fun activities both on and off campus for the greater group. Did I miss anything? That's kind of it in a nutshell.
On the topic of athletic performance, another texted question.
Okay.
Coach Brunson, it seems like Army and Navy Academy has been getting a lot of athletic attention this year from the wide world. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we've really emphasized since I've become the athletic director is really push all our athletic teams out and not focus on one sport. We're focused on every single one of our teams. We went out, we are doing a lot of training with our coaches. They're all doing a lot of behind the scenes things with our kids, even in the off seasons with development, with the help of Cadet Life and academics, and it's all come together and it's helping our, our programs succeed in the right way. And I think we're headed in a great direction with that.
Okay. That looks like a good vote. I have one coming in from Christina Kimber. Thank you. Popped up on my side, but then I think she is mid-message.
The bubbles are going.
We have, it looks like we've reached the end of our stack of questions. I don't know if she's still typing or not. Are day cadets and on-campus cadets given the same opportunities for leadership positions? So day and boarding.
We can both, it's competitive. As a boarding cadet, you have more opportunities for leadership positions, you do. But the day cadets, we do have some top guys that are good and they will compete the other ones, but
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is the application of their leadership really happens after school. And day cadets are limited because they go home 5, 6 o'clock. So with that in mind, we still recognize the potential that they may possess, and we try and put them in the right position so that they can still maintain that type of lifestyle until they graduate.
Annika Boylan says the ANA website has been easy to navigate and very helpful. Greatly appreciate you taking your time for this town hall meeting. Thank you. Just on the topic of the website, we embarked last year on a pretty major effort to revamp some parts of the website, make sure that information was more accessible, make sure that it was more visible, so that incoming families could find us more easily. We always appreciate your feedback. If there is information that you need on the website that you can't find, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. We will always get it done. It's been weeks that I cannot get a hold of my son. Do you have any restrictions for cadets to use their phones? From the Wayne family.
there are some for the middle schoolers, and we will make sure that he contacts you this evening.
If you're unable to reach your son on their cell phone, the operations office is open 24/7, and their TAC is there in the afternoons and evenings as well. So there's always a way to get a hold of your cadet here. Brenda Lynch asks, when will football athletes be required to report for school in the 23-24 school year?
Great question, Brenda. All our fall athletes will be returning on August 2nd. That's football, cross country, and water polo again. Once again, that's on August 2nd.
Yeah. We did just finish the next year's whole schedule for the school, and it will be put in the Weekly Warrior this week as an attachment and posted to the website shortly thereafter.
I think that we've hit the end of our stack here. one thing that I wanted to bring up for parents is we will be sending out, just on the topic of admissions and retention, we would very much love to see your cadets back here next year. We are going to be sending out a parent survey. The first time that it will be released is on the Weekly Warrior. But we will also be sending out a couple of reminders because we would really like to run the gamut here and get a fuller picture of the Academy experience for our parents and cadets. So we would very much appreciate your help in getting that information back to us. Does anybody else have any other
Does anyone have
pieces?
Closing comments from around the table?
Lisa says thank you for putting the schedules out earlier. It helps with planning.
Yes. I think everybody here at the school is a planner. But we will be getting out the detailed schedules for the closed weekends coming up in spring very shortly. So please watch the Weekly Warrior for that. And if I can say one piece of advice, it is, our primary communication with you each and every week is through the Weekly Warrior. And the team here is very engaged with when things come up. We try to get them in the Weekly Warrior that week. So we'll continue to try to do these town halls, about once every 2 months. Just to connect with you visually, but know that we're always here for you. Any question that you have, please give us a call. For issues or concerns with your son or with your cadet, start with your TAC and then work your way up from there. And we'll be more than happy to answer any and all questions that you have. Anybody else about contact? All right, thank you everybody. Thank you Warrior community. First of all, for your trust. Second, for your support. And third, for your enthusiasm. We really appreciate each and every one of you, and I appreciate you joining us for tonight's town hall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.